say, hey, we celebrate tonight. You got a right to celebrate tonight. Get on down. Get on down to the ground. Get down. You got the right to celebrate tonight. If you need the funk, get up and shake your junk. You got the right to celebrate tonight. If you need the funk, get up and shake your junk. You got a right to get down every time you hear the sound. Boom, shakalaka, like a boom, 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 shakalaka, like a boom. You got a right to get down every time you hear boom, shakalaka, like a boom, 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 shakalaka, like a boom. If you feel the groove, get up on your feet and move. Get on down. Get down to the ground. You got the right to celebrate tonight. If you need the funk, get up and shake your junk. You got the right to celebrate tonight. If you need the funk, get up and shake your junk. You got the right to celebrate tonight. If you need the funk, get up and shake your junk. You got the right to celebrate tonight. If you need the funk, get up and shake your junk. Hey, what did mama say? I could get on the one. Hey, what did mama say? Until you're done. Hey, what did mama say? Get on the one. Hey, stay funky. What did mama say? Stay funky until you're done. Get on down. Get down. Down to the ground. So get up and shake your junk. You love like say hey, hey. Are you funky when you eat? Are you funky when you sleep? Are you funky when you're all alone? Do you feel it in your feet? Do you feel it in the beat? Do you feel it in your erotic soul? Are you funky when you talk? Are you funky when you walk? Are you funky just because? Are you funky night and day? Are you funky when you play? Are you funky anyway? Are you funky all the time? Are you funky in your mind? Were you born on the funky side? Are you funky while the black? You like it like that? You like it funk on top of funk? Are you funky in the east? Are you funky in the west? Are you funky north or south? If you're funky, nod your head. If you're funky, raise your hand. If you're funky, get up and dance. Are you funky when you sleep? Are you funky when you eat? Are you funky when you're all alone? Do you feel it in your feet? Do you feel it in your feet? Do you feel it in your bones? Your bones. Hello, this is Nona, and it is my birthday, and I've got on my P-Funk mask, and I've got on my sunglasses, and I've got on a mask on top of a mask, because we have to be all masked up as we are all you say other things, but all masked up. So this is what I wanted to do for my birthday, was to be able to have a conversation with my homeboy, my home slice, my home, actually home man, homeboy, who we've known each other for a long time. And it's always been really, really, really cool to spend time with him, to catch up when we see each other on the road.
And just, you know, when you've known somebody for a long time, it's just really, and who's really warm when you see them. And it's just like you haven't been apart. And that is what I feel when I see George every time, you know, when I would see them back in the day, in between day, yesterday, and today. So as a gift to myself in this COVID virus time when we can't be with each other, I asked George if he would be my birthday present to me today. And because of NJ-PAC and their series that they're presenting, they helped make it possible, along with Danny Capellian, Joy Collinborn, Asa Arnold, and Carlin Clinton. So we're here, and now I'd like to bring my birthday present to me that I'm giving to you, or I'm sharing with you, George Clinton. And there he is, almost like magic. He is there. So this is really, really great. This is,
yay.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm going Yes, exactly.
What up, girl? What up?
The dog in the house.
The dog is in me. How you doing?
Watch out, any cats around.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I know. Look, hey, we're still here.
Hey, we just getting started.
Yes, Corona didn't get us, right?
No, I put a foot in Corona.
The road didn't get us.
Nah. We've been through these things before. We know how to duck and dodge.
This is true. You know, traveling in the South in the 60s,
Yep.
and doing shows and dealing with the racism and not being able to stay in certain places and not being able to eat in certain places and not being able to, you know, even go to the bathroom. So.
Okay.
Yes. We've been through it.
We've been through it. We know how to dance our way out of our constrictions.
Yes, exactly. And to still, you know, have a smile on our face, still feel good about, you know, life as much as we can. And even, you know, when it's really, really horrible, when the horrible things are happening, we're capable of not only inspiring ourselves, but trying to inspire others. That's what artists do.
Get a song in your heart and you can do it. You can do it. Yeah.
You know, so you know, having this time just to like be with you and talk about different things that we've talked about before, but I just like to talk about them again, and maybe some of the people who are tuning in, fine-tuning their frequency and finding us here in the universe. I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure you've probably been asked this like 1,000 times, but I'm going to ask you again. What is funk?
Oh, funk is anything it need to be to save your life. Funk is do the best you can and then funk it. Once you learn to do that, do the best you can and then just say funk it. Musically, a lifestyle, anything, it all comes together once you know you've done the best you can. And that's the same way with music. You just get in there and do the best you can and let go. And you know, you heard him say in Star Wars, use the force, Luke.
Yes, yes.
You use the funk.
Use the funk.
Once you turn it loose and put it in the funk hand, funk is its own reward.
Okay, this is the Church of Funk, I think.
It's something like that.
But yes, like the psychology of funk.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it a state of being?
It's a state of being. I mean, like I say, you do your part, do the best you can, and then it's a state of mind. You let go, and it takes care of itself. I mean, on the stage, we just get into a groove and then we just let go. Let go everything you think you knew about it. Once you get that, some people call it get in the zone. Once you get in the zone, I don't care if you you dancing, if you singing, if you playing ball. When you get funky with it, you just let go, and it takes care of itself.
Yes.
You know, and funk, like I said, I do the best I can, and then I let it go. Hey, funk it.
Funk it. Yes, funk it. All right. That's going to be my new mantra. Funk it.
Okay.
Yes. So the other thing I was thinking about too, when I was thinking about like funk, like when was the first time you felt the funk?
Oh, I think, you know, when I used to watch my mother when she was, you know, hear a record that she liked,
Yeah.
and she'd go, oh, my, oh, you know, and I've learned to feel where that point was at when it hit her like that.
Yes.
And then I started to realize, okay, it was probably she was listening to B.B. King or Ray Charles, and I realized, oh, that's that good spot in the song. It makes you, in church you say amen.
Amen. Yes, yes.
You know,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
the same thing. It's that same feeling.
The spirit.
You know, yeah, it's
Spirit.
an affirmation that, okay, that was it. This is it.
This is it.
And I felt it like, then I guess I was 9 or 10 years old. But
Yes.
by the time I started falling in love with music, it would have been with Frankie Lyman.
Oh, okay.
That was the funk of the 50s, the early funk. It was called doo-wop.
Doo-wop.
But
Yeah.
it was still funky. You know, they had bass singers, ball, 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 ball.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
funky then.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that
Yes.
was our funk. You know,
Yeah.
like in the 80s and 90s, you got Spit to Beat. That's the funk of that era.
Yes.
You know, everybody have their own eras. Now, when we got in the 70s, we were doing that, whoa, hi, hey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We didn't even have no lyrics most of the time. I was just talking shit. And, you know, and
I think
and
I saw
grooving.
you do that a few times.
Huh? Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
we do it for hours, just chant the groove, and that was funky, you know. And James Brown made a big thing. He just said anything he felt like, jump back, kiss myself. It don't matter what you say. Once you're in that zone, once you feel in the funk,
Yes.
you can say whatever you want to say.
Wait. So James Brown, right? His title was Godfather of Soul, but he really was Godfather of Funk, or are you Godfather of Funk and he was Godfather of Soul?
Well, I guess I started preaching funk. I started making sure I wasn't going to stop saying funk because I watched rock and roll. You know, we used to say that in the 50s, and pretty soon rock and roll wasn't ours no more.
Well, yes.
You know, we move on out and just leave it, and somebody else come along and take it, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. So I made sure that
if you put it down,
oh, somebody gonna get
pick it up.
Somebody gonna pick it up.
You can't be mad
at them. No. I ain't mad at them, but I wasn't gonna let that happen with funk.
Okay.
I made sure that even when we wasn't on the charts, I'm still gonna be preaching funk. Because it wasn't about a hit record, a hit single.
Yes.
It was about a hit album.
Yes.
And a hit career. And when you look at it like that, albums last much longer than singles do. Singles are, you know, it's good to have them because that's where you make your money real quick.
Yep. Yeah.
But if you got a hit album, you know, say if Jimi Hendrix, he only had 3 albums out. I mean, in studio album.
Yes.
But those were such good albums. He's still the epitome of rock and roll.
Still, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
a lot of rock stars, a lot of gospel people did albums, and jazz musicians did albums.
Yes.
That's you know, you stay around a long time if you do albums, but you have to deal with the kids because the kids gonna come along with that bubblegum hits, and that's their job. They're supposed to get your ass out of here. You know,
get out.
But I always go back. I go back and watch the kids every now and then, especially if it get on my nerve. If it get on my nerve, I know it's the new thing.
Right. Exactly. Yes. And I think for me, it takes me some time to sort of like really find somebody who is doing it to a certain degree, to a certain level, right?
Uh-huh.
Because not everybody in the
Well,
game is
well,
going
if they get on your
to,
nerve, if they get on your
yeah,
nerve real bad, that's
yeah,
usually they're usually doing it pretty good then.
yes,
That's the best way. I can't wait on myself to feel it, to know what they're doing, to know what I'm listening at. I
yeah,
got to rely on, if it's getting on my nerve, it means that they're trying to get the old man out of here. And I'm gonna pay close attention if it get on my nerve. Because
yes,
it's usually is the next one.
yes. You're right.
You know, because like I
You
said,
are right.
in the 50s, we got on our parents' nerves with the bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
understood that. And we got on, like we was at Motown, we got on their nerve with whoa, ha, hey. What are you saying? You ain't no lyrics, you know? But then when we heard the spit the beat, I knew this must be something new. You know, it's got to be the new thing. So I
Yeah.
hung in there with the hip hoppers because that was the new thing. Now that's easy. I like that. And I'm waiting on the next one to get on my nerve.
Well, you know, yeah, they're out there because they.
Oh, they're out there.
Yes, they're out there. They're all over the internet. You know,
Yep.
and all they need to do is to have it like coalesce at some point, and somebody becomes the king of whatever that is.
Whatever the new one is. Yeah.
So now the other thing that I wanted to you know, to talk about, like going a little bit towards the, you know, how people saw Labelle, how people saw P-Funk, and at some point Earth, Wind and Fire, and some of the other people during that period as Afrofuturistic, you know, in terms of that we were you know, we were in the future, we were some of the things that we were talking about, you know, like space and traveling, and a spaceship, which you happen to bring to the world, to the world stages, right? And so wait, so I know a lot about the spaceship. I know a lot about the mothership, and I know, but I don't know whether underneath that, because you know, I know art. I know you, George. You be putting stuff out there on the front for people to look at, but you got something under the hood that you want them to catch up to later. So the mothership was not just a silver foil thing that looked like, you know, our idea of a spaceship. I know you had some other other stuff going on underneath there.
Well, I put it like this. Once we did Chocolate City, you know, I tried to put, you know, us as a people, Black people, in places you didn't perceive them to be, you know, in the White House and that whole, and once that worked so good, I tried to find the next place you didn't see too many of us.
Yes.
And I was a Star Trek freak. I love Star Trek. So I know you didn't see too many of us in outer space except for Aurora.
Exactly.
Okay?
You wasn't going to be in the future, dude.
No, they didn't plan for us to be in the future, but I'm going to be in the future.
You're going to be. Yes.
So I got me a spaceship. You remember? I got, you know, your boy Larry Legaspi made the costumes for you. He made them for us.
Yes.
Jules Fisher was doing the props on Broadway for Cats and all the other big Broadway plays. And I told him I wanted something to take me out of this world. I want a spaceship. I want to be able to drive it like a player, you know, on Broadway, you know, leaning, you know. And so they did that. And that was my intention of, you know, trying to put us in the future, Afrofuturism. You know, you saw Sun Ra.
Yes.
And Jimi Hendrix was doing it. I don't know if he even thought of it like that, but he was out of this world.
Well, yeah.
You know, otherworldly.
Yes.
You know, so that was my intentions. And ever since then, I've tried to stay true to that. You know, we tried to go underwater.
Yes.
You know, try to groove so hard that we can raise Atlantis back to the top. We sang about the Dogons in the Planet series. You know, series A and B, the Dogons, that was a tribe in Africa. They say they were from that star, from that planet.
Yes.
So I try to like put in there what if, you know, I don't say I know nothing or I think I'm from another planet. I do believe I am from another planet, but that's between me and myself.
I might second that.
Oh, okay.
Can I get an amen? Yes.
Well, yeah, I definitely believe that because I've had some incidents, but I keep that personally. But I do like to sing about them and
Wait
contemplate.
a minute. Now you talking to me. What incident? Tell me the incident, then I'm going to ask you another question. So what incident? I have a few incidents as well. So let's see if
Well,
they
but
line
I
up.
know you know the story. You know the story of Bootsy and myself. We were in Toronto. We just left Detroit, finishing one of the albums, and we went to Toronto. Now remember, you have to go through customs, so we wasn't hyped up. We wasn't high, even though we was going to get high, but we wasn't high yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We was on. I was living in Toronto at the time. We got up there, and here's my hand. Light straight out of the sky, looked like a laser. Now he didn't say nothing to me. I didn't say nothing to him. I know he saw it because he wasn't talking. He knew I saw it. So when we got to the spot we saw it, both was looking around. I said, "You saw that too, huh?" He said, "What was it?" I don't know. So we left it alone. Just okay. It was the light. 5 minutes later, we get off the highway. Now we riding down a country road in the woods. The same light come right down through the trees about a block in front of us. On the opposite side of the street that we were on, it hit right as soon as that hit, it hit it on the same side that we were on. Again, and the third time, it hit the car. Right where I was sitting at on the hood, you can see it beat it up, like a thermometer, mercury in a thermometer.
Yeah.
Like oil and water had beat up and rolled off the car. Now, neither one of us said anything because it was like bam, bam, bam. All the street lights was going out. Now, this is what's weird. The street lights were going out. The first light we saw was weird because we saw it in daylight. This was like 10 o'clock in the morning. We saw it in daylight. That was the weirdest part about it, that we saw it in daylight. We never thought about that again for like 10 years. We went on to the house, the street lights was going out, everything was getting dark. We pull up to my house, my daughter come out, Barbarella. So y'all look like y'all seen the ghosts. We just sat there and say nothing. And she said, "Give me a hug, I'm going to bed." Now, it's supposed to be 10 o'clock in the morning. It didn't occur to us that the street light's going out and she going to bed. That's nighttime.
Yeah.
We never related that time sequence to years later. That, wait a minute, if we got there at 10 o'clock that morning, why would the street lights be going out?
Yeah.
And why would she be going to bed? But we both knew we saw something. It hit the car and all the street lights and everything was going out the car. No cars on the street but us until we got to my house. Pitch black. And we didn't even talk about it. That's how weird. Boosie thought I should know about it. He expected me to have the answer. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about it. And we couldn't put it on the fact that we might have been high, because I would have quickly said, "Oh, it was the drugs." Yeah. But we didn't have no drugs.
Well, maybe it was like a delayed drug reaction.
Well, it could have, all of that possible. all of that's possible.
Yes.
But
wow.
But then, I mean, and we had just finished the Mothership album. That's,
okay.
So, but I'm trying not to get all spooked out about it, but
no.
I definitely believed in it. From then on, I started studying a lot of stuff, and I believe it. I'm looking for it any day now, because I mean, they seem like the government is getting ready to tell us anything they can to throw us off all this bullshit that's going on.
Well, there's a lot of times. See, somebody heard us talking. That's the government calling now.
Yeah, they're beaming there.
Checking on George. But I mean, that's also like Sun Ra, right?
Right.
Sun Ra said he was from Saturn, right?
Right.
That he'd been brought here from Saturn, and that he was going to go back to Saturn and actually create a world for Black people, right? So I don't know, you know, maybe Sun Ra is,
I'm sure he was on to something. I'm sure he was on to something,
but
you know.
and so that, well, that whole sort of Afrofuturism, go away, stop calling me now at this moment. It's probably people calling me for my birthday or something, but anyway. um so, you know, the whole Afrofuturism, speculative fiction thing, I mean, like when you were a kid, I'm sure, did you read Superman, Batman, the comics? Did you read like Archie with Jughead and
All of that.
Little Lotta?
All of that.
Yeah, I mean, but the sort of like the futuristic ones were the ones that I really loved, right? And but did it never seemed strange that Superman or Batman, and none of them were black. It never seemed strange to me that they were all white. It never even occurred to me. And
Yeah.
I don't know whether did you ever think about it at all?
Well, no, not really. I never thought of it until we got to Star Trek.
Yes.
Once we got to Star Trek, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute. I
Wait a
don't
minute.
see us in there. They had one girl in there. And then I was wondering, maybe the Klingons, they look like some dudes I might know.
Exactly.
And they had some other ones, the Romulans.
Oh
The
yes,
Romulans.
yes.
They had an attitude. They would put a foot in your butt every now and then.
That's true. Okay, all right, yes. So yeah, we were probably there, but not really identified.
No,
right?
it's the same as everything else.
Yeah,
Wasn't gonna cop to the fact that we've been here. We was here before anybody else. And none of that was, that's a known fact. Everybody say the first people they found was in Africa.
Yes.
So it makes sense. But it was kept. It wasn't in our books. It wasn't in our history
not
books.
At all. Not
Matter of fact, it's just now becoming awareness that everybody wants to know and everybody's willing to learn.
Yes.
Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Yeah, the majority of the people. I mean, that our history books did not reflect the truth or the truth of the evolution of America or the evolution of the world.
Of the world, really, the world. I mean,
yes.
We didn't even know Indians was here, except for the cowboy and Indian movies.
Exactly, and Tonto, Lone Ranger,
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's a lot of work to be done just to really correct a lot of what has been omitted in history, and then also to give young people or people coming behind us or behind even my nephew reminded me today that I have great nieces and nephews, but so that for them who are like just turned a year old, for him to be able to look at books and see himself, it's really important, and to feel that's why it was so important that Boseman and Black Panther, for young Black kids, young Black males, to see a superhero that looked like them, right? And so that's all that is really important. And that's why I wanted to ask that question, because I was thinking about it, like I never even thought that why are all the comic, Betty with Archie and all the female in the comics, none of them were of color, but that's what I read.
And what's really weird is the fact that somebody actually thought about that.
Yeah.
Leaving it out. I mean, it wasn't like accidental.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that maybe there's accidentally.
No.
But no, that was the part of the plan. When all people, are created equal. You wasn't considered.
Nope.
You wasn't equal.
Nope. Nope. You were not.
And didn't expect you to come and claim it either.
Yeah. No, you were not a man. You were not a full human being.
Yeah.
3/4.
But now, hey, we got the dance floor now. We on the dance floor, and when we get on the dance floor, we don't never want to get off the dance floor.
Well, that's the worry. That's the word.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, like, take for instance, in the music business.
Yes.
Once Motown hit the scene,
Oh my
it
goodness.
was like, damn, they had all top 10. They had 7 out of the top 10.
Absolutely.
And then you look around, here comes Stax and Philadelphia International. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
dig it.
Yes. And consistent.
And it's good
Yes.
music. But hey, do what we got to do.
Yeah, exactly. And when you also, I was going to ask you also in relationship to that, like, there were no books that, in terms of going from the comics to more like fiction books. All the fiction I read pretty much was not written by, in fact, until later, when I was
Right.
in my late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, did I discover Black writers of fiction like Invisible Man? That particular book, Ellison's writing. At first I didn't get it.
You cut off, losing you. I don't hear you. They cut us off. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think the conversation too deep. Can you hear me? There
I
you
can
go.
hear you, but
I hear you now.
You can hear me
now?
now?
I hear you now.
That's weird.
Sabotage.
Yeah, I think so. I think they were listening in. Hold on a second.
I hear you now.
You're up here too.
Why isn't it coming in here?
You're up here.
Yeah, you can hear that, but somehow my oops. I've got the spinning ball. Oh, Zoom has detected a problem with my microphone.
There you go.
Okay,
You're here.
all right.
You're here.
Let me, okay. I'm going to stay on ACES, and I'm going to relaunch mine because there seems to be a problem with my microphone. Why am I?
That's Area 51 is butting in.
Exactly. Okay. Let me relaunch my Zoom here. Okay. So you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, hold on. Let me get myself up and running again. Something, the bug got me. Let me, hey. Let me see, where is that?
You can keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking until I find what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's 8:37.
I hear you.
All right, you can hear me. I'm gonna find it. Come on. Let me keep going. Keep going. All right. I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes.
Zoom.
There it is. It's coming. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, my Zoom isn't happy at the moment, so I'm gonna have to continue from over here. But I can't show the video I want to show you. Oh, maybe I can, maybe I can. So Katie, can you show me, can you show George the video the Afrofunkafuturistic Expialidocious video, and then we can talk about that.
Yes, just one moment.
Okay, great, thank you. Sorry, people, we're coming back. It was the funk. That's weird. You got it, Katie? Yes? Are you seeing a video, George?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
It'll pop up
I
here.
see you. I see your lovely
Okay.
pictures.
Here it comes, I think.
Yes. I see a playlist.
This is a video mainly about, you know, Ralph Ellison and Bearden, the painter, and their relationship with music and art. And because you have such a strong relationship between your music and your art, I wanted to talk about that and how one inspires the other.
Oh,
Because I have a feeling that, you know, just looking at the paintings that I've seen that you've done, the work you've done, you know, I've seen that I can see your music in your paintings.
yeah.
And
You know, I just started relating them to each other. You know, the action of actually painting is the same way I mix songs or write songs today. Not the old way, but just throw everything on there and start mixing it until I like what I'm hearing or like what I'm seeing. Because, you know, I'm colorblind. So that's pretty much how I paint. You know, and so I definitely related to the tone, the frequency, you know, and the same way you do with music, just like mixing a record.
yes,
The EQ.
yes. So when you're painting and you're, I mean, again, it's like getting into that place, getting into a zone. Do you feel about painting like you feel about funk? You know, is there, okay.
Definitely.
So when you're there, do you have those same moments where you go like, whew?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely when it started making sense to me, because like I said before, I start off just off the top of my head. You know, like when you're freestyling and singing or rapping. The same
Right.
thing I do with painting. I freestyle, just throw the paint on the canvas and start mixing them and have no idea what I'm gonna paint or what it's gonna be. But as it started grooving and the strokes started feeling, you know, like a dance, after a while I start seeing something that makes sense, that looked like something, and I start down that road, and if it don't pan out, I remix it with some more and keep blending it till it started feeling good. It's pretty much the same process. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that art and music was so close together. Frequencies and tones and all of that. It's pretty much the same thing. You know, I guess it's the same with poet too, with people that do poetry.
Yes.
It's pretty much, you know, it's pretty much the same thing. Like I say, I don't know what I'm doing at first, but when it started getting to that point that it looked like something, I'd be, ooh, this is that. Ooh, this feel like that. Ooh, this is, you know, it might be a green person, but
yes, that's true.
you know, lately since the pandemic thing here, I've been into the viruses and bugs, and you know that concept stay in your head. So a lot of the characters I've played lately is bugs that's not only viruses and bugs, but they're coming in and out of dimensions. like traveling through dimension, through portals. That's my excuse for the weird looking bugs that I'm coming up with. They're traveling through time and dimensions and all of that. So that gave me a good excuse to not to, like say, funk it. I'm just gonna go ahead for it.
Yes. So, but have you like looked at other artists that inspire you? You know, from going all the way back to like, you know, early painters like Impressionists or painters who like, I mean, some of your stuff reminds me of Basquiat's work.
Well, definitely that. You know, him, of course, because I was around during his era, and you know, Warhol. You know, I knew people that was real close to them. You know, and they used our music a lot to paint. So that one definitely. Now the artists that did our album covers, Pedro Bell and Overton Lord. Overton lived with me right now for the last 15 years. So being around him, you get to know pretty much all the artists, the different styles, and because he's a real painter and been doing it for years. But
yes,
I'm just now beginning to be able to appreciate people that, you know, when somebody say, oh, they look like Basquiat or Dada, and it's most of the time it's the nerve. They're actually saying your nerve is like that. Because when I look at those artists painting, they had a lot of nerve. They did things that a lot of people didn't do, and I understand what that means. So yeah, I'm just now actually getting my lesson on the different artists. You know, I mean, I know Whistler's mother and paintings like that, but Salvador Dali was one of my favorite. You know, and that's probably because I was tripping so much, and all his paintings look like, you know, melting clocks on cactus.
yes,
Look like a tab of yellow sunshine.
Absolutely. And actually he wrote one of my favorite he wrote one of my favorite books. And let me see again. Sorry. Can you turn my video on? Okay. I'm just going to stay here. So
I'm still here.
You can hear me?
I hear you. Matter of fact, I hear you 2 or 3 times.
Yes. Very easy.
This is very futuristic.
It's very, very. So, Katie, can you tell me why he's hearing me so many times?
That's tape delay.
Yes, you need to be on the same video and sound. So I'm trying to keep the same.
All right.
So
I'm not on the, okay.
Log off of ASA if you want to go back to your computer.
All right. Okay. Can you hear me, George?
I hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I see you too.
Nope.
I see you. I hear you.
Oh, right.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Yes, you can.
I hear you.
All right. But
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Why can't I hear George?
It's not us. It's them.
Okay.
I cannot hear George.
Testing, testing.
But George can now hear me.
I hear you.
Okay. You know why I can't hear George?
Testing.
He can hear you, but you
Testing,
can't hear him
testing.
for some reason.
Testicles?
All right. Well, we may have to go back to where we were. So, can anybody else hear George?
Can you hear me? Testing?
Yes?
We can all hear both of you. So
Yeah?
I hear you. You hear me?
No.
Turn your computer sound up.
My sound is up. I'm going
Testing?
to go to internal speaker. Maybe
Yeah.
that will do it.
Yeah.
Can you say something, George?
Testing, testing, test, testing, test.
All right. Say
Can you hear
again.
me? Testing, test, test,
No,
test.
I'm going to have to go back to the other system for some reason. Oh, that's a drag because I've got some stuff.
Mathematics.
Oh, now I can hear you. Say something. Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't hear you though.
No, wait.
I hear you a little teeny bit.
Can you hear me now?
Turn your volume up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, all right. Oh. You can hear me now?
I hear you now.
All right. So that means let's see whether you can.
This evening. One is that I can honor a man who is my mentor, a man who literally is in my head with his beautiful voice and his words every day.
That's the
my life,
bugs.
and do so in a way that celebrates one of the great
Exactly.
voices of the 20th century.
They have us down.
Learn about
As computer bugging, debugging devices, and vice versa,
the American voice, the
and
sound
various viruses.
of the campfire
Exactly.
sounds of the lamenting in the field, actually composed American literature. There's music and language in general, and this I learned from Ralph to the point that
Is this a commercial?
written word.
No, this is
Audible.com is nothing more
a show about the jazz of
the
Ralph
sound of words, the syncopation of words, and indeed the jazz inside words. And so we were happy to sponsor it, and I couldn't be prouder of tipping our collective ad at Audible to someone who had such a big impact on my life.
In this place, I awaken in this place. Land of the free.
Oh. Ouch. Ooh.
In this place, I awaken in this place. In this place, I awaken in this place. Land of the free, but in this place, I awaken in this place.
Mm.
In this place. In this place. I awaken in this place. Land of the free.
Wow.
In this place. In this place. I awaken in this place. In this place. In this place.
Yeah. I just
Wow.
wanted to share those with you and then get to hear your response as you were watching them.
Wow.
Romare Bearden, the painter, and Ralph Ellison, the writer, the musician, the painter, the sculptor. That the idea that an artist is not just, you know, a lot of people
Right.
look at you and look at your musical history and think that that is all you are, you know, that is not that isn't amazing, but you know that the Renaissance man that we were looking at in Romare Bearden and Ralph Ellison, you know, people who went from, you know, Baldwin, from writing to painting, to sculpture to, you know. So I just wanted to talk with you about that and how that, you know, you said Dali was a great influence, and I was one of my great influences as well. But I wanted to hear more about what you felt after watching that
But
film.
I saw a part of that. I just saw it looked like looked like one of Miles' paintings too. Miles Davis. He was one of the first ones that I realized that as an artist, a musician, it's possible to be creative in all kind of directions. And now it makes a lot of sense to me now, because it's creativity is creativity. It's just what you have to work with. And it's an expression. And once you let go and start doing it, it actually, you have your own thing. So I'm not surprised that a lot of musicians or a lot of painters or sculptors, a lot of artists becomes painters. It makes sense. And you experience, especially you experience the world all around the world. You get a chance to see all different variations of things. So it opens your head up to do your reproductions of what you've seen. Whether you know it whether you think of it like that or not, it's still in your head. It's
Yes.
still there. And if you're a creative person, it can come out lots of ways, especially if you lock down like this pandemic thing, locked down with nothing else to do.
Yes.
I bought every canvas they have in this little town. And when they run out of canvases, I start painting birdhouses.
Yes. Wait. You have to let us see one of your birdhouses. We're also gonna look at a video of your studio, your where you work as well. But let us see one of your birdhouses first.
Okay.
You have one there?
Wait, she gonna give me one of the birdhouses.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you know, it was on Anderson
Anson
Cooper.
Cooper.
He was on tonight.
Oh, tonight.
And he was. It's online now. I just watched it just for you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to catch it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Here she comes. Here's the birdhouse here.
Cool. That's great. Wow, very cool. Are you doing what are you using to paint? Like are you using spray paint or
Spray paint, acrylic,
acrylic?
spray paint, all kinds.
Do, do,
Anything I can get my hands on.
do you use oil paint at all?
Oil, I got oil,
Yep. Yeah, I find oil is just, I don't like it that much. It just, you have to be patient, I think, right?
Yeah, we have to wait for it to dry.
Ah.
I'll be all over it. I do it a little bit at a time, not.
Yes.
But yeah.
So,
You know, I was, like I said, Anderson Cooper, he was on the night. And another thing, you know, the day is John Lennon's birthday too.
yes.
I just did a thing with them about his birthday, and I told them that a lot of them is on here now watching you. I told them it's your birthday. Huh?
Yes, you did something for John's birthday?
Yeah, with the John Lennon bus, you know, the school thing. Yeah,
Yes.
and we was talking about yourself and him, and I was surprised. Y'all got the same birthday.
Same birthday, and so does Sean, his son.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we all have the same birthday.
Oh wow, that's really, you got some good company.
Yes, some very good company.
He's a good artist too.
Yes, he is. Sean's excellent. You know, it's so funny because I live 3 streets kind of away from where John and Yoko lived.
Oh yeah.
Sean was born, so I spent a lot of time with them over time, and being Upper West Side, being New Yorkers, it was really. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Thank you. My producer was just talking to me. Sorry about that, George. I was interrupted by my producer. Okay. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding. That was Asa. She came to help me. But yeah, you know, it's the Upper West Side. There was, you know, Ashford and Simpson.
Yeah, I know.
There, you know, right?
I know the crew. I know the area.
You know the area. I'm sure you do. So, but that's, and John also started drawing more than painting.
That's what I'm saying. John, I remember him and Yoko with their books, they call it artsy fartsy.
Artsy fartsy, exactly. But you know, also, you know, what I was thinking about with the Miles is that during the 70s or even 60s, 70s, 60s, 70s, and into the 80s, album covers were really like, people really put a lot of time and effort and thought and creativity into album covers to have their style, to, you know, to say what was inside, you know, what was on the vinyl, what was in, and it got lost with condensing and going down to CDs and going down.
That's what I miss most, because we paid a lot of attention to the album covers. I mean, that was part of our music, a part of the whole story. You know, the Funkadelic album, Cosmic Slop, that was part of our story. And then when we started doing the Mothership Connection and the Motor Booty Affair, Sir Nose, and all those characters, those were our Black heroes. You know, Overton Lord, like I said, he's a phenomenal artist.
He's amazing.
So we specialize in the covers, help tell the story of the whole genre of funk. You know, because we didn't want just to be a singer group of singers. We wanted to be a thing. We called it Parlor Funkadelic, meant thing. It was a thing. It was, you know, you could do all kinds of entertainment and all kind of creativity. And, you know, the art scene came along. So the costumes that we wore, like yourselves, was artsy fartsy. I mean, that was a whole thing of, sometimes it wasn't nothing but a diaper, but when we got ready to get glitter, we got really glitter.
Hey, you know, I don't know how many people were going to think of like, okay, my costume is going to be a diaper.
It's going to be, I mean.
Only, like, George, now, you know, like only a Black band was going to do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, but we worked in barbershops. We made people cool. So we know what cool was. We had tailor-made suits in grade school. We knew how to dress. We knew how to, you know, we call it bagging. We knew how to bag. You know, we had sharp suits. I mean, as teenagers. So by the time we got to Motown and everything was glitter, it wasn't nowhere else to go. It looked like it wasn't as hip as the clothes we wore in school. So when the hippies started wearing jeans and with patches on them and holes in them,
Right.
oh, I know how to be funky. You mean funk is gonna be it? So we just threw the suits away. We couldn't keep the ties together. We couldn't keep them pressed anyway. So funk came in handy. You take a Holiday Inn towel with Holiday Inn written on it and put it on, and you was decked out.
Yes.
You know, and so once that worked, we started going to the masquerade shops.
Yes. Yes.
Any, we start wearing any, and the sillier, the better.
Exactly.
You know,
So
and then when I tell you, when the play Hair came out, we were already dressing like that. You know, and when we realized, oh, they look like us. We really went crazy then. And then by the time we got the mothership, you know, we got a big budget from the record company. It was time to go back glitter, but I wasn't gonna go back to no regular suit. We had to get Larry Legaspi to make those ermine tails and everything else.
Yes.
We had to stop because, you know, the animal rights people didn't play that. So we had to get fake fur, but it still was the best of the fake fur.
Yes. Exactly. But so speaking of like going, you know, into the world, coming from a place where you didn't, your history was not really recorded, and a lot of the things that were considered valuable, whether they were art, music, dance, theater, film, was not something that came out of the Black diaspora, or the, you know, your community, your hometown, your ghetto, your wherever you came from. But when you went to Europe for the first time, you know, what was that like for you?
Oh man, you know, but when we went over there, I think it was 69, you know, and it was right at the height of the whole hippie movement. You know, so we thought we knew what was going on. You know, we was down in the village on West 4th Street. We was, you know, we knew what the haberdashery was like. Now, but once we got over there, they were doing it with such pride. I mean, it was like they go to church like that. They was, I mean, that was their regular thing on Canopy Street. You know, we started home, and then we realized we really had a lot of catching up to do.
Yes.
You know, so but
what did it feel like, you know, like being a young Black man in Europe? Did you just go to London, or did you go to France and Italy and Spain?
We went to all of the places, but we stayed like 2 weeks in London and Birmingham and Manchester and all of the northern part of London. And we had a chance to see all the different styles. We went to France, and this was before we got the mothership now. We were still psychedelic. We were supposed to play at the Albert Hall, but Frank Zappa had just played there, and they weren't gonna let no more rock and roll in there after he left. So we ended up playing at the Lyceum.
Oh, the Lyceum, yes.
You know, so it was like, okay, all the rock and roll stars, you know, the Led Zeppelin guys was there, David Bowie was there, all of the people that we had seen, you know, in the magazines was around. And Funkadelic, you know, we were just getting psychedelic, you know, the Free Your Mind, Your Ass Will Follow. They thought we were the weirdest things in the world. And we was over there with Arthur Brown.
Oh, yes. Did he set his hair on fire?
Hey, he set the airport on fire.
That was his thing. He would set like his hair
Hell's
on
fire. I'll bring you hell's fire.
Exactly.
the two of us, we toured and we had so much fun.
Great.
You know, we saw him years later, and I saw him say, "Do you remember this chap? Do you remember that?"
But George, so like, okay, going to London, like, and Scotland and Ireland and Wales, you know, it's good because, you know, it was English speaking, but going to France or Spain or Portugal or even going further, you know, going to Japan or to other countries where, you know, you didn't speak their language, and kind of back then, not everybody in the country spoke as much English as they do now. How did you feel just as a person, like, here I am trying to order something to eat in a restaurant and I can't say what that is?
Well, I mean, that never bothered me too much, because at that time we were hippies. You really didn't have no taste buds anyway. You know, I mean, I've never even thought of that. You know, like you know, like you said, London, they spoke English, so it was easy. Yes. But France, I don't even remember what we did there. Like they say, if you remember,
at it, right? Like,
if you remember, you wasn't there. Remember, I tell you what, remember was it France? I did your hair over there.
Yes, you did my hair. That's why I'm looking like I look today.
Yeah,
you
I meant like I saw that.
For life.
I saw that picture in the magazine not too long ago. Yes, but that wasn't the first time. It was
no, that was a redo.
That was the redo.
The first time was back in the early days, you know?
Yeah, I mean, y'all was still bluebells then.
Bluebells, exactly. But, you know, I was just interested in how, you know, you felt being in another country that was so different from where you had come from. You know, as a child, where I grew up, as you know, you didn't have those opportunities like a lot of young people have today, that they, you know, a lot of young Black people,
you know,
get to travel more than we did. So we were being exposed to something, and people were being exposed to us who had never really been involved with Black people in terms of, like, you know, being on television in Europe. Or so I was just interested in how that hit you.
Well, you know, it was so much, you know, Black music over there. You know, France had a lot of the jazz musicians, and Jimi Hendrix and all of them had, you know, Bob Marley, and, you know, there was so much of that. I felt like we was speaking hippie. It wasn't no language. It wasn't no English or French or German. It was you speaking hippie, and pretty much you could communicate that, because it was only a few things that you needed to talk about.
This is true. That's very true. And we know what they are.
Yeah.
We won't say tonight.
We ain't got to go through that now. I mean, that's another story.
Exactly. So wait, now I want to show your the video of your art studio, where you do your painting. So Katie, can you get that up so that so people can see that? Right? Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm. That's a clear right there.
Yeah. Do you always paint to music?
Pretty much so, pretty much. That gives you a groove. It's like dancing on the canvas. You know, you get into a stroke thing, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. But that, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about you know, when you when you sort of were going on the road, right? And I was thinking about Barbarella. And how many children do you have?
Oh man, I'm the father of our country.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's good. That's good. I'll leave that alone. So, but
Hey,
did I want to ask this question because I don't know whether many people ask you this question. But when you became a father, did that change you? And becoming a grandfather, has that changed you, or do you change them?
oh, I think in both ways, you know, because at first my oldest child, they grew up with me. I was still a teenager when I had them. I was still in the barbershop doing hair when I had them. But by the time they got grown up, they got kids, you know, my grandkids, I had a chance to like actually raise them, my grandkids, but my kids grew up with me. You know, they were like my brothers and sisters, you know, for the most part, you know,
Yes.
until the ones that are still around, they still like my brothers, they got kids of their own, the grandkids of their own. So I got great grandkids. But
Yeah.
it changed, you definitely change once you get older, you know, for real older and understand what their little life forms that you have to help and everything. The other
Yeah.
ones think they know as much as you do, so ain't too much you're gonna be able to tell them.
This is
You
true.
know,
Yes. And sometimes they know more.
well, the grandkids, I count on them to tell me what's going on with this new digital age. I
Yes.
count on them, even the music.
Yes.
It's in their core. They come hardwired to the computer.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking about like 7 and 8 years old. They know that,
Yeah.
you know. So I count on them for that one, and I don't have no problem with listening at them, you know, to get information, because
Yes.
they don't want to be bothered with you if you ain't gonna let them do it.
This is true. So what? But what was there a moment like, where you went, "Oh, I'm a father now"?
No, it was more. I'm a grandfather now. I never got. I never even got. I had a clue when I was the father. I mean, they was like my brothers and sisters. I took care of. I knew I had to do that. I took care of the family.
Yes.
You know, but I was on the road. I was a musician, and they were right there with me, traveling with me and everything. So yes, I mean, the responsibility was there right from the get-go. I
Yes.
wasn't no way I could get around that. My father instilled that in us, you know, from the very beginning. You have to work and all of that. So it just came natural. It got scary once, like I said, when it was the grandkids, because
Yes.
now I actually wasn't out there in my mind half the time, and I had to see exactly what I had to do. And then you started being scared that you got to take care of this, and you got to make sure you make money and support everything. That's I'm lucky that it just came natural to me the first time around.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's probably you and a lot of other people.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because it's like it's a very scary thing to like this other little person here,
Oh my God.
have to deal with, right?
I mean, I worry more about grandkids and great grandkids because I know what their parents, you know, just having to do it. So I'll be feeling sorry for them. So I'll jump in there in a minute.
Yes. So getting to that, just in terms of like being able to um, pass on some of the experiences, your experience, the knowledge, and especially the vast amount of people that you've just worked with. I mean, just in terms of, you know, your influence or the P-Funk influence on the Red Hot Chili Peppers is just, you know, like all over what they do. And just thousands of other artists, whether they were sampling and like stealing early, but now I guess they pay for what they take. But, you know, all of that in terms of your, like your, you know, what you leave behind, your legacy of, you know, the experience. It's something that you really, I don't think you can really, I know your book, Hey, was it Yo George Ain't Funkin' Kind of Hard on You? What's the title?
Brothers B, you're like George. Ain't that funkin' kind of hard on you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I know you put a lot into the book, but yeah, I don't know whether you can capture, you know, who, what, you know, George Clinton in a book,
Well,
right?
I'll tell you what, myself, I use Smokey Robinson was my hero. Okay, and you know him, you know the personality. He's still
Absolutely.
so. My working with other musicians came really easy because I wanted to be like him with the Temptations and all the people that he worked with, and that was my dream.
Yes.
And as far as when people were sampling this stuff, most of the musicians paid for the samples. My problem was always with the record companies and the publishers. That's a whole nother thing.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. I'm just coming to terms with that now. I'm
Yes.
just now, you know, since the copyright recaptures is coming back,
Right.
The legacy belongs to my heirs. So I'm more hardcore when it comes to that. I get a little pissed off when it's messed up now because it's not for me, it's for my grandkids and my kids.
Yes.
But I never had a problem with working with the artists to this day. Like I just did a record with Public Enemy, you know, and that to me is like the joy of being in the business, being able to work with all the different musicians, no matter what style they do. You know, I felt good to be able to work with a Kendrick Lamar in this. I'll be 80 years old my next birthday. So
what you bring to that is something they can't know because they haven't been where you've been, right?
Most of them is a little different with Kendrick. He was what you call old soul.
Okay.
He know more than he was supposed to know at his age. So his was really interesting to work with. I mean, for that age, I mean, he done skipped a couple of generations, and he's talking to me like he's my age, and I'm listening, knowing that he's talking the right shit. I mean, he was correct.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So, but there's always something to learn, no matter where they come from or how they do it. You know, if it's the new thing, there's still something to learn. But learning to be able to get along with people, I think I was able to show them that the real valuable lesson is to learn to be able to deal with people, get along with people, no matter what. And I find the best side of anybody that I'm working with. I look for the best part. The part that I don't like, I don't even deal with. I pretend I don't see it.
Yes, you just funk it.
They're funky, you know, and pretty much you can get around, you know, don't step on my toes because I ain't expecting nothing. I know what I want. And if I got that part, we cool.
Yes. So when I mean, I would think that it's similar in like working with Prince, you know, because, and I think when you're working with other artists who are, you know, they're kind of like they know what they want and what they want to do, but they also are like hungry for what it is that you can bring to what they do, right?
Yeah, that with Prince, that was evident there because he was one of those ones that really knew what he was doing. He knew what style he wanted to do. Like Stevie Wonder, he could do pretty much all of it, and he knew what he wanted to do. But he also knew what he wanted from the funk.
Yes.
And it was funny because it cracks me up, and I'm like, you already got that. But it's the personality part of it, of dealing with other people and being able to hang out with people, a crowd, and he thought I was weird because I could just walk off stage and walk out into the audience and hang with folks. And then he tried, and they swarm him, and he couldn't get out of it. I said, but you can't stop. You can't stand still now. If you're gonna do that, you can say hi, shake hands, but keep moving. Because if you stop, they're gonna take over. And
exactly.
He wanted to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I think, part of the what I really value, and because we travel a lot of the same roads, came around, around the same time, touring with, with James Brown or Otis Redding or Wilson Pickett or Sam Cooke, or, and playing the Apollo theaters, doing all the, the Royal Theater, the Howard Theater, all those theaters where you were in there all day long doing shows and watching, people who were at the top of their game. And not just one, but maybe 5, 6 people, you got the Drifters, you got James Brown, you've got, I don't know, Lil Anthony and the Imperials, Marvin Gaye, all these different people on the same show, and they're like it, and everybody is trying to out it everybody else on the show, because that's what you needed to do, from costume to singing to dancing to, your persona. We watched the Tammy show, a bit of it the other night with James Brown, and the whole please, please, please thing, and the cape and Danny and the band and going off and coming back and not gone and passing out. And, it's like, I think if you, and I'm really, really glad that I had the opportunity of having that experience where we would touring with James Brown, and you could watch him every night, and you could watch the Bobby, the guy, the backing singers and dancers basically in the band. If you couldn't learn then, you weren't going to learn.
Ain't no hope.
No,
Ain't no hope. I mean, I used to go to the Apollo and stay there all day long, from the first show in the morning to the last show at night, and then on the weekends.
Yes.
So I pretty much knew everybody's routine, what song they was going to sing. So,
yes.
And by the time we got there, we knew everybody's thing, everybody's, but you still had something to learn, because by that time we had threw away all of the things that we had learned, and we had to go to the funked side of town, which means we was there to tear the place up. And the closest one to us was the Isley Brothers.
Oh my God, yes, yes.
Twist and Shout. A lot of people know the Isley Brothers from their love songs.
Yes.
But if you knew the Isley Brothers in the early 60s, you know that they wrecked house. When they was on stage, they tore things down. And that was the type of people that we was trying to be like.
Yes. The Isleys for forever.
Forever. I mean, every style that they tried to do,
yes.
They did it well.
Yes. I mean, Jimmy cut his teeth there, right?
Yeah.
You see Ernie Isley today. It's really, in some ways, there's a bit of sadness for some of the young people today, because they don't get that. They don't get to experience that,
They will. I mean, they will. It goes around in circles. It goes around in circles. This generation might miss it, but the next generation will find it and think they found something brand new. And next thing, I mean, look at, what's his name?
Which
What's his name?
is he?
Funk you up, funk you up.
Oh, Funk. Yeah. Yes, from Hawaii.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he brings back all of those notions that you're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You
Same.
know, and
Yeah.
I mean, even Prince really. Prince
Yes.
reminded me of James Brown, you know, and all those different dancers and singers. You
Exactly.
know.
No, it's true. I just think the amount of places and time that we had to,
Oh yeah.
you know, the amount of shows that we did in a year, the amount of places we had to play, and you know, some places they didn't even have a microphone, right?
Yeah, right.
You-
Oh, those were the fun. They sing on the floor with no stage, and people was on this. No, they. I don't think they ever got the chance to experience that singing in the gym at the
yeah,
schools.
yeah. I mean, you know, back in the sock hop days, you know, but it's
Yeah,
also the amount of shows that
yeah,
we got to do or had to do um,
yeah,
is, yeah, it's just, I think what it does is that thing called muscle memory that
yeah,
happens when you like playing tennis, being a tennis player, you just hit so many balls, forehand, that it just becomes, it's just the body, it's just
yeah.
connected.
Your body know more about it than you do.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm.
So that's
Bruno Mars is the guy I was talking about.
yes,
Bruno Mars.
yes.
Yeah,
You know, but that's the you know, the thing that, and when I say I feel a little sad for some of the younger people today, they don't have that kind of proving ground that a lot of people over, say, from the 60s to 70s and even to 80s were able to have. I think from the 90s on, it became, you know, the amount of places to play, the touring, how people toured became totally different, became the
yeah,
big, you know, it's my tour, it's my world tour, it's just going to be me
yeah,
and, you know, maybe one person at the front of the stage, they can have this, the edge of the stage, I will have the whole stage, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
I,
that
yeah,
styles do that to you, and I'm
yeah.
sure it's gonna be some. It's gonna be some new ones after this pandemic thing is over.
Oh,
It's gonna change again.
absolutely. And you're going to be at the forefront, right?
They ain't gonna get rid of me.
I'll be there with you, you know, because
Okay.
I moved on to using like these gloves to control my voice and stuff, right? They're called Mew gloves. So I use them to, I should have turned them on and plugged them in to show you. But I use them to control my voice, and you can use them to control your video, your lights. And
Okay.
so it's a whole thing. I can put, you know, I can control the reverb on my voice. I can control my music.
Oh my God. Well, you see what time it is. It's definitely futuristic already. Okay.
Oh yeah, we we're there. We're going there, and you know, and work. You know, the other thing I wanted to you know talk about more with your painting. I know you had an art exhibition in Florida, right?
Right. We just had, yeah.
Yes.
Just got an art manager just recently.
Okay. All right. You got yourself
So,
an art manager.
yeah.
Okay. So I
Uh,
mean, the people, you know, there. I'm sure that there's lots of people who just want, you know, can't wait to, you
yeah.
know, have.
And I want to give a shout out to Vivian Chu. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Vivian Scott. You know, she's the one that has been helping me for years. I mean, signed me up to labels, and now she
Yeah.
just hooked me up with the art.
Yes.
That's a
Oh, you know,
P-Funk fan for you.
also Vivian, I love Vivian. I love Ray. They're just two of my favorite people. Absolutely. And you know, Nancy Lewis.
Oh,
Nancy Lewis. Yeah, she died. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I
Yeah.
was so hurt when I heard that. You know, she was she turned me on to that Northern soul.
Yes.
She was. I remember in the '60s, early '60s, when she said they was getting ready to buy all these old R&B records in Detroit and take them back to London and sell them in Birmingham. 20 years later, they was calling it Northern soul,
Yep.
and I remember that so well. you know.
And
Because
this,
I took her to Detroit, and she bought all the records. And her best friend was Ina, your
yes,
lawyer and my lawyer.
and I think
You know?
I think Ina's on here tonight. I think she's checking
So
out.
I said, hi, Ina, shout out.
But we can open it up for a little Q&A. Some people might have some questions. Let's see, you know, maybe Ina's on there. She might have a question for you. Let me see. Where can people buy the birdhouses and the art?
Like I said, I just got the manager. She gonna have us. That'll be set up in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so it'll be on your website.
GeorgeClintonArt.org.
Oh, that's too straight. It's just gonna be just like that.
Well, until she get here and tell us what to do, I wasn't moving. I was just painting. I said, I'm not gonna do like I did with the music. I'm gonna make sure I get it right before I jump out there.
All right. I thought you were gonna have like a name, like, you know, the cosmic slop of the art with the funk up in.
Oh yeah, I'll do that eventually, but I want to.
All right. So they can look at your website. They can check there for where they can purchase anything George Clinton, right?
Right.
And so, are you doing any music while you're in COVID lockdown?
Got an album that's getting ready to come out called "Reaching for Litness."
Oh.
And it's going to be very, very interesting. I don't want to say, got some different people on there, but I don't want to say just yet.
No,
but
that's good.
But believe me, it's a hell of an album.
Okay, Reaching for Litness.
Right.
All right, I got a question here that somebody's asking.
Oh yeah, and I'm also getting ready to do a record with Rakim.
Oh, are you?
Yes, you know, he's another one of my heroes, and like Smokey is, when it comes to hip hop, he was like the first one that I'd say, okay, I got to go back to school. I got to get some rehearsal in there.
Get some knowledge. Okay, somebody, let's see, Corey Washington said, I met you in New York at BB King's and gave you a copy of my Jimi Hendrix book, and my question is about Eddie Hazel. Did he meet Jimi Hendrix? What kind of discussions did you two have about Jimi? I know you saw Jimi play with Curtis Knight in New Jersey before he became famous. When we meet again, I want to give you my latest Jimi book, Jimi Hendrix, Black Legacy. Thanks, and P.S. I met you. No, okay, he met me as well.
Yeah,
so
but
the question
no,
is,
Eddie didn't meet Jimi, but I bought all of Jimmy's albums. When we first went on the road with Testified in '67, I bought all of Jimmy's albums and gave them to Eddie, and that's what he got his chops together for Maggot Brain and all the rest of that, like 3 years later.
yes. Yeah, you know, that we have more. We have this is question time, George. Let's see. Love Handcuffs? Love Handcuffs. What inspired you to write this powerful song?
Which one?
Handcuffs.
Oh, it was some, we met some girls. No, for real, we met some girls from Chicago. They was friends of Shaka's. They was all they just came to LA, and they was on the Wild, and we met them, and their whole dialogue, we gonna put some handcuffs on these guys, you know, we gonna put the handcuffs, and they, you know, they was right out of college, they were young girls, and they was on the Wild. So I got a lot of lyrics from them on that. Matter of fact, I think she got writer's credit on that.
Great. Okay.
No, it wasn't. We wasn't into handcuffs.
Oh, come on! I had handcuffs.
Yeah, but I'm too scared, but I ain't gonna let nobody handcuff me.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna mark that one down, George.
Okay.
That's a demerit. If you're not,
okay.
okay, that's a demerit. Okay, so here's the other one from Jesse Krakow, who I know. Mr. Clinton, out of the millions of songs that have sampled your music, do you have a favorite one?
Not a favorite song, but I have favorite people, producers that use the song. You know, like the way they use the samples with Public Enemy, Hank Shockley and the crew. I liked the way they used the songs to make a new track, because they actually had arrangements. They didn't use a loop and loop it over. They had a little bit of this on, a little bit of that. They actually made what they call mashups now.
Yes.
They made real arrangement. You could actually chart it out on paper the way they did the arrangement. So I like it, but all of them did. You know, I mean, you have to like what Humpty and them did to do the Humpty Hump. You know,
yeah. Yes.
They did the loops really good.
Okay, so Jesse, let's see what the other one is. Oh, happy birthday, thank you. He's magic. You're magic, George. Somebody just said you're magic. So
say what?
Somebody just said that you are magic.
Oh, okay. I'll go for that.
Okay. So somebody's saying, please tell us the story of how the song and video Baby Go Go came about. All right, I'll talk about that. Let me see. Oh, I was going to play that video. Let me see if I can play it.
That's your song, right?
Yes, song. You're in the video. And
yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's for you.
If I can. Yes, that's for me. But what's that question? Vivian Chu commented on Facebook. I am honored. Vivian. She says she's honored. All right. George says
P-Funk.
P-Funk. Here we go. Let me see if I can play Baby Go Go and go screen share. Oh, the host has to let me screen share so I can play this. And then we can, should we do some more questions?
She's got it.
Yeah, okay. You gonna let me screen share? Yep. Is that it? Here we go. And it's playing. I won't play all of it though.
Baby, what can I do? You know I can't dance, it's me and you. Feeling is about to strong. You and me, we got to get it on, get it on. Body move, baby, I lose my cool. Something about you, I don't know. Makes me wanna go. Maybe get your body on the floor. All you really need to know. Whatever you do, just don't say no. Come on, baby, go. Baby, I really like your look. When you lay eyes on me.
That's Ronnie, right?
Waiting just to feel your touch. Your mind is so, is that too much? Whenever I see your eyes.
That's you, George.
Baby, I lose my cool. Something about you, I don't know. Makes me wanna go. And make you body on the floor. It's all you really need to know. Whatever I do, just don't say no. Come on, baby, let's go. Whenever I see your body move. Ooh, baby, I lose my cool. Something about you, I don't know. It makes me wanna go. You need a pretty lover, let me hear you say you
Okay. I just wanted to get to the part where you were dancing.
Okay.
I'm going to stop sharing that and come back to you. Oh,
Well, those were the days.
Those were the days. That was fun. That was a fun shoot. So how that came about is I was doing a record, doing an album with Dan Hartman. Remember Dan?
Yep.
And I wanted to do a song with Prince. And so I'd met Prince years before before he was known as Prince. And I was playing the club in, I think it's called Fifth Avenue or something in Minneapolis. Yeah. And yeah. Prince came to the show and he was all like, all shy, didn't want to, couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And somebody said, he was like in the corner, right? And somebody said, Prince wants to speak to you.
Prince want to talk to you.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was really funny. So we talked, right? And he was like, oh, I really love Labelle, Labelle, right? And I didn't see him for a while after that. And I was wearing like stockings and like these stocking holder things and stuff. And so he took that idea and put it on Vanity, right?
Yeah.
What I was wearing. And then when I was, we saw each other again and we did some shows together when he then came out as, 1999, everything, he blew up. And so we kept saying, let's do something together. And he was like a really big Labelle fan. And I said I was making this record and I needed a song and I wanted to do something with him. And he had written Baby Go Go. And then I wanted to do something specifically because there was a sound that I had in my head, and that sound was you, right? That was you and Mavis. Those were the two voices that I was hearing in my head on that song. And I called you and said, George, it's your home girl. Please come and do this recording with me. And you said yes. And you came up to Dan's up in Connecticut. And,
yep.
And Mavis came with her sister, Cleotha, and
yep.
ate a lot of donuts, ate a lot of ice cream. And we got it. T.M. Stevens played bass on it. And it was great. It was a great time. So that's how that song came about. And thank you, George, for doing that. And coming and doing the video.
Yeah, but like you said, Prince was definitely a Labelle. He had me talking. Tell me some stories. Tell me some stories.
He loves stories.
And Mavis is like one of my favorite artists. Period. Period.
Montana. Montana.
My Montana.
Oh my God. I mean, we spent so much time with each other over the years in the theaters and on the road with the Staple Singers and everybody, Isaac Hayes, Donny Hathaway, all these amazing artists that we got to just like hear all the time and hear them as they were making music. They weren't, a lot of it was live. So it wasn't listening to the record, it was listening to them doing the music and, Nina Simone performing with her. It's just the nuance of what they would do on a given night. And if you toured with them, it was never the same.
Now those days on the tour bus with all the different acts. I mean, that's one thing. Mavis and I used to be back in the back of the bus telling stories, and Prince would say, I never met any of those. I never met any of those.
Yes. Yeah. And, and that's something too, just in terms of Prince. I mean, he went and brought into his music, people like you, people like Mavis, people like the horn player from James, Maceo,
Yeah.
He brought, because there are certain things that, for instance, recording to tape, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get that sound, because that recording was it. That was that sound going on to oxidize
Yeah,
material.
and yeah,
And that was,
analog,
yes,
analog. You
yeah.
know, that warm sound. They got digital version. They got a picture of the of the machine, but they don't have the machine.
That's true.
I
That's true.
mean, but you have to give it to time moves on and
Yes,
evolve.
yes,
But some
yes,
things you really do miss.
yes.
The warmth of analog is definitely something to be reckoned with.
Well, and also the, you know, making a record took a long time because a lot of times the machines didn't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had to wait for the machine to be fixed, and especially a lot of the things when we were using the early synthesizers, like
Right.
the, you know, the large sort of Fairlight. You know, that thing could
Oh
was
my
like a
God.
large, was a as large as a refrigerator.
That was
And
that was a studio in the machine.
exactly. And one person knew how to work it, knew how to play it. So
Did you
that person,
did you ever play with Thomas Dolby?
yes,
I mean, he could use that machine like it was a regular drum machine. He
exactly.
had more things in that machine. Anybody's studio you wanted to sound like, he could make it sound like their studio.
Yes, yes. But it's also, you know, but that in terms of having that, the patience in a way sometimes to make a record, because, you know, capturing the sound, capturing that moment that, you know, you might like play the song. Sometimes you get lucky, you play it one time and that's it. But sometimes you had to play it, and, you know, we didn't sample and fly any vocals in. You had to sing that thing, you know.
We did songs 10 minutes for
Right.
10 minutes, and you had to sing all 10 minutes of it
Yes.
on 10 different tracks.
Yes, exactly. So what I'm getting at is that there's certain things, as much as I love technology, and I really love technology, and I'm in it, but there's certain things that you cannot in the real world, like
No.
you cannot capture, and that is, I think, the joy of people seeing you and the band live, um, and being there and getting it in their ear, right?
Right.
It's a very different thing. I remember seeing you in London. I went to see you in the band. There's like about 100 of y'all. Like, I don't know how many of y'all was on that stage. It was like you had like 3 drummers. I don't know
Right.
what it was. It was like a whole bunch of people, and the audience was like, it was packed. People were, I forget, it was like the Academy or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I waited to see you afterwards, uh, and when the audience left, it was like a sea of plastic cups. They had drank more beer than they could have.
Right.
I could have floated out of there. You know, it was just like I had to walk through a sea of plastic cups. But they had. It was a great night. It was a great night, and I think. And then I saw you again at uh, what is it, Lincoln Center, when you were being you were being honored, and Sly was there.
Oh
Tell me a
yeah,
little bit.
right.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Sly.
Oh, well, you know that he was my hero. He is my hero for real. And we had so much fun, but we got in so much trouble most of the time. I mean, people just see us together, they knew we up to no
Trouble.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, even the police would just ride by and say, just for being together, we gonna lock y'all up. You know, but we had so much fun, you know, with like 2 kids, grown men, like 2 kids, you know, just doing what we're doing right now,
Wow.
telling all the stories and all the lies that we done been through. And I mean, wow. And I was lucky enough to get, not the last time, but album before the last one I put out, I actually got him to do stuff on the album for
Yes.
Shake the Gate.
Yes.
And that was I felt proud of myself because it's hard to pin him down. He's not satisfied with his own work, so he's really not satisfied with doing stuff with other people.
He hasn't been satisfied with his own work since the 70s.
Right. I mean, he was always, he worked,
Yes.
he'd do the same song 100 times.
Yeah.
Now, he got versions of the song that sound better than most people's songs, but not for him.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
No.
he's hard to beat, but he's a fun dude.
Yes. I mean, he's an amazing artist, and the Family Stand, that whole period was, you know, that just the first album was like just that, you know, with great songs, and the lyrics, you know, and that's another thing, the lyrics that that you and P-Funk create and put out there, and Bootsy and Bernie's contribution to this bass synthesizer is just unparalleled, really.
He's one of the all-time great musicians. But you know, Bernie was, there's no comparison. I mean, since he was 14 years old, he was doing that. You know, when the synthesizers came out, he could do that on a Farfisa organ for the most part. What most people needed a synthesizer to do, Bernie could do that stuff as a kid on a, like I said, a Farfisa organ.
Yes.
And he was unbelievable. But you put him along with Gary Scheider, and, you know, the whole Plainfield crew, Glenn Goins and Boogie, you get all of them went to school together, went to church together. They hung out in the barbershop with me, you know, and they grew up to be just what they were as kids. We all knew they was going to be as kids.
Yes. No, that's great. And I think that's also contributes to, you know, the funkiness. You know, that knowing each other, not sort of being put together as a group, that you are, you know, you're cut from the same cloth in a way, right?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that was it. They all, like I said, they all went to grade school together. You know, when I met them, you know, Billy Bass was 9 years old, and Eddie was 13. I mean, they were all. Bernie was 14. They all was like that, and I was 20.
Yes.
You know, so all of them, they grew up and learned their craft. You know, they got Motown. I took them to Motown. They met everybody out there, so they had a chance to do that. And by the time we got a hit record, psychedelic rock and roll was happening. They was in it from the beginning.
Yes.
So and when Bootsy and them came along, we just changed it to mixing the JBs with Motown, with Jimi Hendrix, and you had what we call P-Funk.
P-Funk, indeed. Yes. So wait, so you came after the Bluebells.
Yeah. I watched y'all in the Barbettes.
The Barbettes, yes, exactly. Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
Okay. You remember that show?
Yes, I remember the Barbettes, indeed. Yes.
Okay, so that we got our record after Sold My Heart to the Junk Man.
Yeah. You know, we didn't know what we were singing about, you know.
I didn't know what you were singing about either.
That's Billie Holiday. She was singing about junk.
Okay. Oh no kid.
Oh yeah. We did not know. We were singing like, I sold my heart to the junk man now. So you know, it's like.
Oh, that was a Billie Holiday song?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, school me.
Yes. I got schooled later in life. I was like, huh? What? No wonder.
Oh my God.
No wonder the older people liked us.
Who produced that record?
That was Bobby Martin and
Bobby Martin. Oh my God.
And I think Richie Rome.
Okay, Richie Rome. Did you know Richie Barrett?
Richie, yeah.
He did the Chantels and
that's the Chantels. Yep. That was like one of our kind of rival groups. I mean, the Chantels were like amazing.
They were my heart in was
They
it
were
58?
amazing.
Yes.
Yes. Was it maybe?
Maybe. Yes, Lord.
Yeah, maybe. Yep. And the Shirelles, you know, I mean, just
Yep, them too.
yeah. So wait, they're telling me I've got to start wrapping up. So I want to show this that I have.
Oh, she got P-Funk power.
I do. And I'm sure other people are going to be wanting to have them because I'm going to show them to them.
Oh, show them the pins.
I want that.
Oh yeah. My God. Yeah, you got the collection.
I got the collection.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave them in my will to one of my nieces and nephews. It's very valuable possession. And
thanks, Nona. Happy birthday, girl.
Yeah, and I got my P-Funk other mask.
Okay.
And I got this P-Funk mask.
Oh boy, you got the whole collection.
I got the whole collection over here. I got and maggot brain I got too. But I have to ask you these last questions.
You got to get this one. You got to get this jacket.
Oh, I do.
That's the One Nation.
Oh, okay.
Sakai.
Is that on the website?
Sakai. Yeah. Okay.
All right. And I like the T-shirt because it'll go with my mask. So I have to get a T-shirt to go with my mask. Okay, wait. I have these questions that I wanted to ask you. And this is just a stream of consciousness. Where'd they go? Where'd my questions go? Oh, here they are. So I'm going to say a word and you say a word or what you think. All right?
Oh,
I'm going to
wow.
say, my first word is Black Lives Matter.
About time.
White supremacists.
Oh, I'm going to say, oh, shit.
Bootsy.
Oh, Bubba. Bubba.
Rock.
Wow, I don't want to go there. Enroll.
Hair.
Ain't got none.
Okay. You.
You too.
Me.
Me too.
Okay. Trump.
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo. Okay. Obama.
My man.
Tomorrow, the afterlife.
I'll just be getting started.
And LGBTQ.
Friend of mine.
I think that's all of them. The ones I wanted to just throw at you. So, yeah. This has been a fantastic, fabulous birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy birthday, girl.
Yes. And we have to finish Got That Doo-Doo.
Let's get it. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I'll make sure that I get it and we'll get it done.
Okay.
All right.
Take care, baby.
Where's Carlin? She's hiding over there.
She's hiding. She can stick her head in there and say hi.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping make this happen. And thank you to Katie and to Sima and to Danny. They're in the background there somewhere from NJ Pack. And I don't know whether this will be on their website or for people to actually go and see another time. I'm not sure. But people who wanted to know more about your art, I'm going to let them know again that they can go to your website. You got your art manager. She's going to charge them a lot of money right?
Okay. Right.
So, so he has an art manager, and that's who you need to talk to. And what else do I need to tell him about? There's lots of things. You need to go and buy your mask. Make sure you get masks because it helps support the P-Funk band while we're in this COVID time. And the money goes to them and helps them to survive through this really, really difficult time. And musicians, you know, our life on the road, some of us make money, some of us don't make money, and we all have to share what we have during this time. Also wanted to let you to say that everybody on here, it is so important that we vote.
Vote.
Right?
Yes.
That's, yes. So all the other stuff is important, but voting down in your local community, state, city, national, it's important because that's what's going to make the change. Yes, you can watch this on the NJPAC website. When can they watch? Anytime soon? Yes? Yes, anytime soon. And Asa, my producer, come over here, get your face on the camera. If you want somebody to do some social media stuff, George, this is Asa.
Hi, Uncle George.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? So you hooked up now, you got an email, Carlin has it. And that's it. I was gonna have my cake here, but you know, I'm gonna have a virtual funky cake.
Okay.
Because it tastes real good.
Okay. Go lightly.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too, baby. Take care.
Right, okay. Bye.